Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Samuel Eyitayo. I'm the Country American Spaces Program Specialist, and we are so excited to have you here today. We've been planning this program for a while, and finally, we have our dear AI Evangelist in the house, popularly known on the social media platforms. His name is Mr. Olalekan Adeeko. Please, can you put your hands together as we welcome him for today's event? Thank you very much. We will, um, after now, we will go ahead with reading of his bio. But before then, I would like to just make one or two announcements. Number one, this program is meant for all Nigerians. We encourage everyone to please invite your friends to participate. Today is the first day, so we're not going to count it as part of the 80% attendance. So you can still invite other people to join us um, from next week. It will be an 9-week session, and we will all are expected to be here. But if peradventure you could not make it and you want to watch from home or office, you're also allowed to do so. The only caveat is that you will not hand a certificate of participation. And the major reason is that we cannot guarantee that participation. So without much ado, I would like to call on Samuel Ede, the director of the American Center Lagos, to please read the bio of our lecturer for this course. Over to you.
All right, thank you so much, sir, and good afternoon to every one of you from all of American Spaces Network locations across the country. So this afternoon we have Olalekan Adeeko, who is adjourned the Microsoft's most valuable professional MVP and also a Fulbright TEA fellow. He is an international AI trainer and a keynote speaker who helps from government, institution, and development partners adopt artificial intelligence. He holds a first class. Sorry about that. I think there was a little network glitch. So Olalekan Adeeko is an international AI trainer and a keynote speaker who helps from governments, institutions, and from development partners adopt artificial intelligence responsibly. He holds a first-class bachelor's degree and a master's degree in information technology. He co-founded TED Prime Limited, a Microsoft global training partner where he leads technical delivery and operations. Over the past decade, he trained more than 45,000 educators, professionals, and public sector leaders across Nigeria, Ghana, and Botswana, turning enterprise continental and global recognition, including the 2020 African Union Continental Teacher Prize and selection as a Microsoft Innovative Educator Expert. He focuses on preparing educators and institutions for the future of work through ethical, evidence-based AI adoption. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for our facilitator this afternoon, Mr. Olalekan Adeeko.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I want to start by putting up my screen and then we'll continue to this session. So, good afternoon, everybody, and I appreciate the invitation. Our home prof, Mr. Itayo, Mr. Samuel, and all the team out there. Thank you for the invitation, and together we'll be able to do a lot of advocacy and training within the next 9 weeks. And for the participant joining, I want you to see this as an opportunity for you to, add to your skill. We all need to continue to, reskill, upskill. You want to learn, relearn, and unlearn. So in the next 9 weeks, we are going to be doing a whole lot together. And yes, it's going to be more of hands-on session. But of course, today being the first day, we must, establish some facts. We must ensure that the foundation is solid before we can begin to mount, blocks on the foundation. So we are talking about AI for young entrepreneurs, for the youth out there, for anybody joining. Even if you're not an entrepreneur at the moment, you're still thinking of starting something, or you are an employee somewhere, this is still, very apt for you. And we cannot overemphasize the importance of artificial intelligence at this particular point in time. So it's going to be a long journey for us in 9 weeks. And I just want to summarize everything we're going to be doing as simple, as basic as possible for you to be able to also explain to others. And that's the hallmark of learning. If you are able to also teach others, then that means you must have consumed what must have been taught. So if I'm talking about AI generally, I want you to just imagine a tour guide. Let's say I have not been to Gombe, for example. Yes, I've not been to Gombe. So let's say there is a tour guide who has never once set foot in a particular city. That tour guide has never been to that city. But this tour guide, he is the one that is guiding people in those locations. Why? Because this tour guide has read every guidebook, every travel blog, every review, every overheard conversation about that particular place. We are talking about millions of all these documents. That tour guide has read and memorized which words tend to follow any other word. So if you ask him where the best food is in Gombe, for example, he will answer instantly, fluently, with total conviction, even though that tour guide has never been to that place. At times, he will get it right. At times, maybe it will take you to a restaurant that has been closed down, some years back. I tell you, this is how your large language model works. It has not read all the books out there, but it's able to, he has not been to that place, or he has not been to everywhere on earth. He doesn't know everything on earth, but because it has consumed vast amounts of data, it can help you with your responses and all that. So this is just like a brief summary of what AI is, and we're going to learn more. So today being the first day, we just want to set the foundation. Like I said, we want to look at what AI can actually do and what it cannot. So today is to introduce us to the program. And of course, this is what we will be doing in the next 9 weeks. Today is there. Next week, we are going to do a deep dive into all the 3 tools that we are going to be focusing more on. Week 3, we will focus on research, writing, and knowledge management. Week 4 is for branding, visuals, and content creation. Week 5, we are going to leave that open. That is like our midterm break, sort of. And we expect that you use that break to practice some of the things that you must have learned. And I'll also give us, midterm break assessments and projects that we'll need to work on. And then we'll come back week 6 to build your AI-assisted skills. And week 7 is for building digital solutions using AI. Week 8 is now the time we'll be doing a lot around multimedia. video, voice, and multimedia production. And of course, week 9, we want to put everything together and, come up and display our projects, presentation, and what comes next. I want this to be as fun as possible. We have people in different locations, scattered across the country, and be ready to rep your city, be ready to rep your state, because we're going to be, showcasing our projects and every other thing that we're going to be doing in the course of this training. So today, what are we doing? We want to introduce ourselves to what AI is. You are writing your first business prompt today. You want to compare outputs, and I'll leave you with your AI mission for the next 7 days before you come back to the class. So the goal is for us to use AI powerfully and also verify what it tells you. That is very, very important. So we are not just going to be teaching ourselves AI without ensuring that we balance it with the responsible use of the tools. We are learning AI responsibly, so that we go with the ethical use of the tools and not just learn how to use the tools. Before I jump into what I have on my next slide, I need us to respond to this. I know maybe it may not be that easy for all of us to use the chat box or something, but for as many that are able to use the chats, that's fine. To you, which profession will AI transform the most? Just drop it in the chat. A, B, C, D, E, F. For as many of us that we've got, access to the chat. So which profession will AI, transform the most? What do you think? So I need you to just go into the charts and kind of drop it there. Which one do you think AI will transform the most? We've got the first feedback from Bauchi. Bauchi is saying E, that's engineers and tech workers. We've got Adekunle D, Uyo E, Sambo F, B, F. So we will go on and on and on, and we're likely going to have all the options represented. Although I haven't seen American Spaces Nigeria just wrote everything down. So yeah, all will transform the most. Yes, there is no wrong answer, there is no right answer. Okay, so we are getting the gist. AI will transform all of these professions. So it now depends on how you want to strategically position yourself to be able to, still continue to stay relevant in this new age. So thank you for the responses. So what is artificial intelligence that we are talking about? I want to take this as your first time of hearing about artificial intelligence. So we're starting from the beginner class, and then we'll move up from there. What is artificial intelligence? Simple definition, I say, is the science of making smart machines or making machines smart. And when you talk about something being smart, you're talking about something being able to, act and behave like humans, because we are the superior being. We are the one with the intelligence. We're supposed to be, superior animal. But when you now have machines trying to behave like you and I, trying to do things that, ordinarily speaking, we consider those things to be in the jurisdictions of human beings. When you have machines that can on its own write something new, learn, and then, do certain things after learning. So that is the umbrella, artificial intelligence. And I do tell people that AI is not something that came about in 2022. Or through ChatGPT and all that. AI has been in existence for decades. Just that it is the most technical part of it that has been in existence, that people have been using. Machine learning, computer vision, and all those things. But recently, in 2021, 2022, that gave birth to the AI that a lot of us are now talking about. So AI in itself has many branches, and one of the branches is machine learning. And from the name machine learn, so you have machine, trying to learn from data, and they improve itself over time. Take, for example, you are working in a company and you have a machine that identifies, bad apples from good apples, or that identifies apples from oranges. So you will train that machine to be able to identify apples, so that when you now feed it oranges, it's able to say, no, this is not oranges, this is apple. Or you have a machine that you've trained, to do different things, and on its own now, it can now do it. You have machine learning, which is like a branch of AI. You have the computer vision, when AI processes the world images as if a machine sees these things, and it can process all those things. During COVID-19, we have cameras installed at different airports. I remember I was in one of the countries in Africa, and then they were kind of taking our temperature using the camera. The camera was kind of, taking note of our temperatures, and if your temperature is higher than usual, you'll be pulled aside. So we're talking about computer vision. AI sees these images, can do facial rec. That's where you now say, oh, this person is this, because the images have been fed in, and over a period of time, now computer can identify human being from animals. Now we talk about the natural language processing, when AI can understand our language, can understand English, can understand Yoruba, can understand Pidgin, Hausa, Igbo, Efik, all those languages, and can synthesize these human text and voices. You can now control things. Many of us have been using Alexa, Siri, for a while now, before ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and all those things now became like the in thing. We've been using those tools. You talk to it with your voices and you activate different things. So AI is not just something that is completely new. It is the generative AI that we can say it's the new baby, now that's OpenAI company in the US now said, you know what? We want to bring AI closer to the people. We want everybody out there to be able to use artificial intelligence. And the type of AI that you and I can conveniently use without us, writing codes or doing anything too technical is the generative AI. And that is what we are going to be focusing more on in this training. So Gen AI, like you can see on the screen, I said it's a subset of AI designed to create entirely new content. And that's the beauty of Gen AI. From the name generative, it is generating something new. And we need to understand this before we start using AI. All these LLMs, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and all those things, they are not reading directly from anywhere. They are not just reading and they are in examination or in the schools, we say you are copying from a book, right? They are not just copying from the book. They are generating all those outputs newly on the spot for you, based on your instructions that we call prompts. So you write a prompt to Gen AI, it gives you something. What it has given you is not a copy from a book, or it's a direct copy from a journal or from a page. It is generated newly. It is predicted. Those words are written out on the spot. To better, understand Gen AI more, it also learns from data. So OpenAI or Anthropic or Google, they trained their LLMs using vast amounts of data, billions of text, billions of images, conversations, and all those things. And they are able to say, you know what, we are feeding you into the model to be able to go through all these contents and identify patterns. So it finds patterns in massive data. Imagine yourself being thrown into your university library, for example, and in your library, you have tens of thousands of books. You have tens of thousands of books, and then you are forced to go through all these books. So they are trained with vast amounts of data. So AI's food, literally, is data. That's what AI consumes. Without data, AI is kind of useless, okay? Because it needs to feed on data to be able to do a very good job. So when you train it with data, it generates output for you. And the output can be in different forms. It could be in form of texts. That's why it gives you text. It could be in form of images. Gen AI can draw, can create images that looks, exactly like you, or draw something completely new from you just describing what you wanted to draw. It can create a video. Now you've got a lot of avatar platforms out there. You can turn yourself into an avatar and use it to speak different things and say different things, be in different places. So Gen AI can also generate videos. It can also write codes. It can create applications, mobile application, web application. It can do all these things. So it generates outputs. And over time, it gets improved with your feedback. Maybe you have not been noticing on some of the platforms that you're familiar with, after generating output, at times you will see a thumbs up or you see a thumbs down. That's a form of feedback. So if you like what ChatGPT or Claude must have generated for you, you click on the thumbs up, you are giving a feedback so that they take that in, they continue to mark that as something remarkable, and then they use it to fine-tune the model. And there are settings on your platforms that if you don't turn it off, you're simply saying, I agree for my interaction on the platform to be used to train the data. So feedback loop is an important ingredient of AI, so that it gets feedback, it gets better by the day. So when you complain about it, it takes that in. When you applaud the output, it takes that in. And then it gives you outputs in milliseconds. You ask it something now, you want it to write a page, and you get a page almost immediately. You want a 20-pager book or something, you write it and it gives you. You want it to crunch one data and help you with a dashboard. You want it to help you solve a mathematical equation. So this is Gen AI, and this is the one that you and I can conveniently use from our mobile phone. From your mobile phone, you can use generative AI, and you don't need to be highly technical for you to use Gen AI, right? So what are the things that you can do with the Gen AIs out there? You can do the writing and research. As a business guy, you don't just want to go into business without doing research. You want to do your competitor analysis. You want to do feasibility study. You want to study the market. You want to look for patterns in the market. When do people buy this thing more? Where do they buy it more? Where can you source your raw materials? You can do all this research using Gen AI. You want to draft emails, you want to draft proposals that you can submit to corporate bodies. You don't just say, oh, I'm not very good at writing, and you've been asked to drop a proposal. So you can use Gen AI for your proposals, for your business plans, to summarize lengthy documents. It could be legal documents that you need to digest. There are a lot of policies in Nigeria for you to run businesses that, if you're not careful, you run foul of all those, laws. But you can have them interpreted, summarized, consumed, and explained to you using Gen AI. So writing and research is important. Even if as a student you're writing your paper thesis, you can conveniently do your literature review and all those interpretations leveraging Gen AI. For your branding and visuals, you are a business guy, you need flyer, you need to post on social media constantly. You need to create your logo to start with, your tagline to start with, your brand colors, your brand guidelines. You want to create pitch deck. Maybe you are out there, you want to visit venture capitalists, and you want to present your proposal and all those things. You can use Gen AI to do all those things in terms of branding, your product. You want to place your product very well in a place, all these things you can actually so you can actually, leverage Gen AI to do all these things. Logo, product imaging, your product, you've taken the picture in a place that is not looking too nice. You can use Gen AI to clean up the environment, throw in more light, make it more professional. So branding and visual, you can use Gen AI. For your digital solutions too, you want to sell ebooks. You want to write books and publish them on Amazon. You want to develop a page website for your business. You don't want to kind of pay people and then, spend a lot of money as a young entrepreneur. You want to still save some money. You can leverage Gen AI to create a page for yourself, create your website, design your banner for LinkedIn, for Instagram, for all those things. You want to create a basic automated workflow, maybe your WhatsApp workflow. When you are sleeping and people send messages to your WhatsApp, you want it to respond like you to your potential customers. So you can do all this even without writing codes, by just explaining what you want from Gen AI. Or you want to do audio and video, you want to do marketing gigs for your product, you want to promote your product, your marketing video, you want to do podcasts, you want to create animation to do how to use your product. You can leverage Gen AI to do all these things. There are a lot of people that have reached out that have kind of supported, they've written books and they want to convert their books to, animation, or they have businesses, they want to, create content around it using animation. So you can use Gen AI to do all this. So we want us to see the Gen AI as the ultimate co-author and business advisor for your everyday tasks. So whatever you're thinking out there or you're doing, you can actually leverage Gen AI to help you more. Maybe you're out there and you are still confused. You are saying, is it not Google? Is AI not just Google? The Google search, is it not just a search engine? No, there is a complete distinction between a Google search and your Gen AI. When you use Google to search, it finds existing pages. It looks for pages here and there that are existing on the website. It could be a blog, it could be a website, it could be a journal, it could be a book. It looks for that particular page that contains the result, and then gives it to you. You go there to view the existing content. But Gen AI creates the output newly on the spot. Okay, I hope you understand that. I hope you understand the difference now. Search engine will go online, search for existing pages and gives you. But Gen AI is writing something new. It goes through its trained data and find patterns. It predicts the next word after the next word, and then you are able to have something to verify before you use it. So in this class, we're going to be focusing more on tools developed by these three companies. OpenAI, all three American companies, right? OpenAI created ChatGPT. So we're going to be using ChatGPT. We're going to learn how to use Claude. We're not just going to learn how to use ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. We want to learn how to use them as power users, not just as regular users. We will look at how to properly set them up from the settings. How do you tweak your setting? Like 90% of the time I get to train people and you see that they've not actually touched the settings. They've just been using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini, generically, the same way it has been designed. But you need to customize it for yourself to be able to work for you. So we're going to use ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. So ChatGPT is like your jack of all trades. It can do a whole lot of things. So it's basically more around drafting, your ideation. You want to brainstorm, you want it to explain stuff to you. You can run to ChatGPT for that. Claude for precision and structure, you're talking about documents. You want it to format document for you to do careful analysis. You kind of use Claude. For Gemini, it's multimodal. You can use it to create images, create video, do text, and of course, the ecosystem is there. You can literally use your Gemini inside your Google Mail and all that. And there is still Microsoft Copilot there too, right? But I don't want us to focus more on tools. You know, if you understand how to use any of the tools, you will be able to use that knowledge, you know, on any other tool. If you know how to use ChatGPT very well, you should be able to transfer that knowledge to Claude or to Gemini or to Copilot from Microsoft. But very, very important, and I must stress this, AI is not all in all. It does not know everything and anything. So AI hallucinates. You give it a prompt, it looks through the pattern, it will bypass fact checking and give you something. So it will only rely on its straight data. It looks through the patterns and then gives you something. It is your own responsibility to verify the output before you push it out there. Okay, your boss cannot ask you to do something, or you cannot post something on your socials without you verifying, and then it turns out to be a fact lie, and then you now say, oh, it's not me, oh, and I actually use ChatGPT or Claude. No, it's you. Whatever you post out there, whatever you submit, whatever you present from your table as something written by you, even if you've used AI, it's coming from you. So it's your job, it's your responsibility to always fact check, to always ensure that you verify. So that's my golden rule for you. Always verify the outputs. Treat AI results as a highly capable first draft that requires human review. Whatever you must have done, ensure that you verify before you go out there to review. We are soon going to, do simple, hands-on today being the first class. But before we write any prompt at all, I want to take us through the 5-part prompt formula. This is the basic one that I always share with people first, before we now talk about advanced prompting and all that. You now want to use Gen AI. How do you speak to Gen AI? So it is like you talking to somebody. You should know how to explain what you want to that person. You should know how to, give enough context and details so the person will be able to understand you better. So how do you talk to Gen AI? And that is what we call prompting. So you use your prompts, you give prompts to Gen AI, and you get a feedback. So you give it to it, you get a feedback. So I don't just want us to talk to it without ensuring that we use, very good formula that will enable it to respond to us, very well. All right. I like this analogy. Let's say who's on the call now? Okay, Akim Mustafa is sitting in his sitting room at home, enjoying the World Cup that just finished. And then you call your boy and you say, oh, Mohammed, go inside my room. Go and bring me a book. Just that. Go inside my room. Go and bring me a book. In your room, there are a dozen of books. There, you've got many books in your room, but you told your boy, you said, go to my room and bring me a book. And the boy ran inside. Maybe the boy too didn't want to miss any part of the match. The boy ran inside and came out with a book. Maybe he came out with a book titled Prompt Formula. And you are actually interested in the book titled AI for Entrepreneurs. And you now looked at the boy and say, you know what, is this a book that I asked you to bring? You are not serious. You are too playful. You don't always listen. Whereas you just told the boy, go inside my room and bring me a book. But if you switch it up and then say, oh, Mohammed, go inside my room, on the green shelf, look for the book titled AI for Young Entrepreneurs. Will the boy go in there and bring the one for prompt formula? No. The boy will be able to go inside, look for the green shelf, and then run through the books on the green shelf and pick up the one that says AI for young entrepreneurs. That is prompting. Many people complain today that anytime they give AI something, it doesn't usually, give them something that is useful. Oh, that thing that you people are saying is kind of powerful. Does not even know Jack. It's not even that good. But they haven't considered their own prompting. So these 5 prompt formula, I want to run us through it before we kind of test it out when we get to the hands-on session. 5. And the first one there is R for role. R for role. AI has been designed for everybody, okay? For lawyers, for doctors, for teachers, for engineers, for everybody. AI has been designed for everybody. And AI can assume the position of anybody at every point in time. So if you don't give AI a role, and you just ask it to do something, it will give you something, definitely. But if you give AI a role and say, you know what, for this task, I need you to act as a lawyer. When you say act as a lawyer, all these LLMs will first of all recalibrate and say, okay, I'm focusing more on the data that has to do with lawyers. I will ignore the ones that has to do with doctors or engineers. So for now, I am focusing more on that of the lawyers. I will go back to the library example too. You are in the library, and remember the library, you've got different sections. There are places where you see books for sciences, books for engineers, books for lawyers, books for, doctors and different people. So if you enter the library, that big library, and you need an answer in a particular book, if you don't know the section where that book is, you just be wasting a lot of time. And at the end of the day, you might just, get something from somewhere. Maybe that same concept has been mentioned in medicine, but it's not the same as the same thing when we talk about it in law terminologies. So you don't want to enter the library and just start searching. You want to narrow your search. Okay, I'm doing a research in law. So you go to the law section of the library and begin to look at the books there. It's the same way when you give your AI a role and say, for this particular task, I need you to act as a lawyer. Then ChatGPT will say, okay, for now, let me recalibrate. I am a lawyer. I'm focusing more on my trade data that has to do with law. So give it a role. All right. And I put an example here. Oh, you are a business consultant, that has been doing this for 20 years, and you are familiar with the African context, or you have helped many companies in Nigeria to establish their businesses. Even that role too, you must give it enough information. Because if, for example, you want a lawyer to help you do something, what a baby lawyer, apologies, or just permit me to use that, a lawyer that just graduated, yesterday, you can't compare what that lawyer can do versus an SAN that has won 20 cases before, that has won 100 cases, or a doctor that's just left housemanship. Compare with a consultant that has faced different scenario on the job before. So you still want to give enough info. You don't just say act as a lawyer. You want to say, oh, act as a lawyer with 20 years of experience in this particular thing, So you are giving it a role. You want AI to assume that role. Oh, you are a specialist in business scaling. You have actually helped 20 businesses in Lagos, Nigeria, scaled from 5 figures to 7 figures, and they are now selling in the US. You want to give it a role. What AI should become. That is number one there. It's very, very important. Okay. The number 2 thing is what we normally do most of the time, the task itself. And that is, what exactly should AI do? That is the instruction. So you give it instruction. We are used to that. So many a times, the only thing we do is give instruction. Oh, do this for me. Write me a letter. Write me a poem. Write me a mail. We often ignore the role. So the task is, what exactly do you want AI to do? Okay, help me draft a business plan. Okay, help me write a proposal. Okay, help me draft my marketing, content. Help me draft a script for my video to produce or promote my product. That is the task. The next one is context. And context, I tell you, is, if not the most important here, right? And that is what background does AI need to know? What are the situations surrounding what you are doing? Because context matters, not the kind of context that somebody said some months ago, right? Just playing around. Context matters, right? So we are talking about things that you still want to share with AI for it to better understand why you need what you have requested for, or who will use what you have requested for. Let's say, for example, a bank has asked you to drop a business proposal for them. Okay, that is quite different from you just writing the business proposal, for a loan. It's different from you wanting a VC to support you. It's different from you wanting to show your friend what you're doing or the level you are now. Context matter. Okay. Yes, I need you to help me to draft a post. What is that post meant for? Is that post meant to convert for me on my social media? Do I want it to attract more people to be able to, check out my products? Do I want to add a call to action there? Do I need a post to ask people to reach out to me? Why do I need that post? Do I just want to post it on my social media platform just for fun? Why do you need it? Who needs that output? If you're writing a mail for your boss, the content, the structure will be different from you writing to your friend, right? So you want to explain the situation. That's the context. What is the background information? The audience matters. Who is using it? When? Why? All those W's. You want to ensure that you capture them in the context. I need you to help me to write a business proposal that I want to submit to my bank. I have applied for these grants from them, and they are interested in companies that are doing stuff around, agriculture. And my own business too is in manufacturing, but I am now pivoting into agriculture. I need it to be convincing enough to be, you want to give enough context about that particular thing you need from AI. So context, the third one. The fourth one is the format. How should the output look? What are you expecting from the AI? Do you want it in form of an article? Do you want it to sound like a journal or like a thesis? Do you want it in form of a table? Do you want it in form of, just bullets form? Do you just want kind of bullet form, just bullet, ... Do you want it in form of a table? Do you want it in 200 words? If you're writing post on LinkedIn, I think LinkedIn has like a limit, so you don't want to go beyond that. Do you want it in form of, 150 words, 200 words? When Prof requested for my bio and I said, okay, it's 150 words. Okay. Then I just told Claude, he knows a lot about me. I said, okay, my bio, just, reduce it to 150 words. Then I gave it context. I have this speaking engagement. The focus is more on AI. So I need my bio to speak more to AI and speak more to my involvement with the US government in terms of the Fulbright program and the Microsoft program. That's why I just kind of narrowed it down to that context. And the format was just 150 words. Reduce it to 150 words. So format too is important. AI can export your documents in Word format, in Excel format, in PDF, so you can specify what format you want. It understands X or format Twitter's, format. If you say, I need an X post, it will give it to you under 140 characters, except if you now say, oh, you are using the premium version and it could be longer. So that is formats. The last one, you see that in red. All the other ones, we are talking about things that we want there. But constraints are what you don't want in your output. Is there any limits or requirements that you want to give AI and say, I don't want this thing? Constraints, don't go beyond this. Don't include this. Don't include that. Constraints are very, very important too for AI. When you tell AI what you don't want, you are helping it. So it removes that completely from whatever it's considering, whatever patterns is kind of, doing, everything is kind of doing behind the scene. You've given it constraints and say, take this out. I don't want to see this. That is constraint. You are saying, I don't want this there. Don't use examples from other countries. Focus only on Nigeria. Okay, don't do this. I don't want M dashes. I don't want you to, in fact, you want to talk about constraints, right? So I am not saying that every time you are writing a prompt, all the 5 here must be included. No. I am not saying that all the 5 must be there, but I tell you, if you are able to add the 5, you'll get better results. At times, you don't need all 5. At times you just need 3, or you need 4, or you need 5. But this is just for you to, hold these on your left hand, the way we normally say in Yoruba Palace, keep it on your left hand so that you don't use it to hit. And if you use your left hand to hit, put it on the right hand. The session is being recorded, Olalekan. Yeah. So that is the prompt formula, the 5-part prompt formula. There are still other ways we can use AI that I will still tell us when we move on. Some other things that some of us use, one shots, double shots, and some other things. They are out there that we will still test. But today, let's just pretend we're just starting from the basics. And here is an example of a prompt showing you the 5-part, formula there. So here I say, oh, you are an experienced business coach in Lagos, Nigeria. So I already told AI the role. You are an experienced business coach in Lagos, Nigeria. Then the task is help me create a 30-day marketing plan for a new hair salon. Okay, so you need a 30-day marketing plan for a new hair salon. You didn't just stop there. We are not just stopping there. We want to add the context. The salon is in Abuja. Okay, because if I'm doing a marketing plan for a place like Abeokuta or Show, I want it to, speak to the peculiarities of those places. So you're like, the salon is in Abuja, and the targets, they are women aged 18 to 40. If I am targeting secondary school students, maybe for their hairdo, school normally call their hair, it's going to be something else. What I want high school students to see in terms of marketing is quite different from what I want adults to see. So, and then you have a budget of 30,000 naira for marketing. If you do not put the context there, it can blow it out of proportion and just pretend as if you are a big boy or a big girl. You are ready to spend, $1 million, 5 million naira on your marketing plans. But this time around, we are putting the context there. We say, you know what? I just have 30,000. Okay, thank you, Oluchi. So you can see my screen, right? So Lawa, you might want to check out your internet. Okay, so if you can still see my screen, you can just do a thumbs up or just do yes in the chat. Okay, so the context here says, okay, good, thank you. So the context here says the salon is in Abuja, and then the targets are women from 18 to 40, and then you've got 30,000 for marketing. In fact, you can take a step further and say you only want to do your marketing on Facebook and Instagram, or you want to do your marketing on offline. You can still have all those things there. So context, you see it in action. And then the format, we said present the plan as a week by week table. So we're talking about a table now. We want it in form of a table, week by week table, so that when it is giving us the output, we see it in a table and you can easily pick for day 1, day 2, and so on. And the constraints, we said use free or low cost channels only and maximum of 400 words. So we are saying, talk about platforms that we can use for free. Don't tell me to go and use a tool for my marketing when that tool is not free. Maybe because obviously this person has just 30K, for marketing. So we don't want the person to be sent to use agent, for example, and the person is forced to subscribe and pay maybe $19, to be able to do something. So we're probably going to suggest maybe Canva, CapCut, things that are kind of free to that person. So this is an example of a prompt that you have written using the 5-part formula. Again, this is the list. If I am to write this prompt, it's going to be more than this. It's not just going to be this, because I am going to kind of add to the role, add to the context. Those two, I'll probably add more to it, but I will just leave it this way for us to see it as, the action, the prompt in action for us to be able to kind of do this, right? And again, we want to quickly just do like do a simple hands-on Sanford. You can I'll need to mute you from there. So we just want to kind of test things out and and see without the 5-point prompt, the 5-part prompt, and with the 5 formula. We will kind of write our prompt normally, and then we also write it using the 5 parts. So I will just want to complete the slides, then we'll go to ChatGPT. We'll start from there and then do a demo of all these things. So I will come back here. We will do this when we get to ChatGPT. But what I am basically saying here is, if you just write, for example, I want to start a business in Nigeria. I have 20,000 naira. Give me a step-by-step plan to begin. It will give you something generic, right? Because you just said 20,000. Give me a step-by-step plan. You did not tell AI if you already have a skill. You did not tell AI your location. You did not tell AI what you already have, because that will help in your business. If you have 20,000 and you want to start something, are you a skilled artist in terms of drawing? Are you a singer? Are you a hairdresser? Can you plait here? Can you barb here? Can you, do different things? When you had all these things, it will help AI to say, oh, this is what I'm thinking about you. But if you look at the other side, say, I want to start a business in Nigeria. I have 20,000 naira. I'm 24 years old, based in Lagos. I've got no prior experience. Give a numbered list with budget breakdown, right as if you are advising a first-time entrepreneur. Again, going back to the prompt formula, it is not compulsory that your prompt should be in this order. No, it's not compulsory that you must start with role and then you follow it up with tags and then context and then format and then constraint. No. When you're writing your prompt, it could be any way. It could be any way. It could be from task first to role to format to constraint. All we are saying is you want to be sure that those things are present in your formula. So this is what we are going to do ourselves today. So I'll come back here. This is what you will do after I must have shown you what we're talking about. Okay. So one myth we have breaking today is that AI knows everything. It's a myth. AI does not know everything. AI predicts. Okay, AI predicts. So I will stop sharing this screen now, and then if you have questions so far, I'll take it before we then move to the AI platform and just test out the prompting techniques only today. This is not for us to do a deep dive into all those tools, but just for us to test out the prompting. So if you have not even used any AI proud today, this is when you get to try something out. So if there's any question, you can just drop it in the chat. I can pick it up there and respond to. If not, I can just go ahead with my with the demo on ChatGPT. I can see one hand up. Do you want to speak, or you just want to kind of drop it in the chat? American Spaces Nigeria.
Good afternoon, Mr. Adeeko. Thank you for a wonderful session. So,
yeah, good afternoon.
Done a lot of, I've done some sessions on AI and prompting. So the training I went was on Microsoft Copilot. So in this instruction in the prompt, they were like, in addition to all these things that you have mentioned, that you can also tell the AI to check, to verify references, especially if you are writing on major topics like literature, education, health. Like there are some content that you need to verify. So you need to tell the AI, please verify the references to back this information, to verify this information you are giving me is actually true. So I want references to back this information that you are giving me. So it won't be as if AI just giving information on its own, that is actually checking for references, journals online, references online, that can back that information that is given to you. So that at the end of the day, they're going to get legitimate
Final.
back of that information.
Mr. Jala today.
And just
all right. Yeah, thank you. Please, if you are not speaking, you can just mute your microphone so that we'll be able to hear ourselves clearly. So yeah, I kind of had your question. Yes, remember I said there are different strategies, prompting techniques that we can use. So we're just kind of starting out with a basic. Yes, of course. I did not even have that. Don't even run with the first output from any of these LLMs. So don't just say, oh, the first thing you give me, then I'm going with it. Of course, you can do what you just explained and say, oh, I want you to check online and be sure that these things are found on verifiable, sites like a journal or something. And I need you to add that to your outputs too. That, of course, we can do. Of course, we will still get to that part where we'll be able to kind of, do more. So we're kind of just starting out. Of course, like you said, you're using Copilot. You can tell it to, include the sources there, put the links there, and ensure that you are able to track where it is actually, reading from, or, getting some of the things that it must have fed. Yeah, you can actually do that. Lord is saying, does the program compliance side of deploying AI on registered in a registered business, data handling. Of course, we're talking, responsible use of these tools. We will still definitely talk about the do's and don'ts, the things that you can gladly drop inside AI, and the things that I would not advise that you upload on all these LLMs. So yeah, there are things that I would not recommend you. All your PIIs are things that you can redact before putting all those things there. So yeah, don't worry, we will still get to that part. Optimizer is saying, okay, sir. All right.
Please, for those of us who have questions, let's be very brief. We don't want us to keep explaining. Just brief. Over to you.
All right, sir. And please don't unmute until I call your name and that you can talk, right? So I think it's better you just drop it in the chat. I can easily pick it up there. I will summarize whatever you must have said there. So Optimizer is saying, please, can we differentiate between task and context? Okay, task is what you want it to do. Write me a proposal, write me a poem, draw an image, write me a letter, draft my mail. That is the task. But context is, why do you need the proposal? What are the information that the LLM needs to be aware of before drafting that mail? So if I just say draft me a mail, right? Draft me a mail saying I will not be coming to work tomorrow. That's an instruction, that is task. But the context will determine how LLM will approach that mail. If I say, draft me a mail that I won't be coming to work tomorrow, the context will now be, this email is directed at the HR manager in our company. And the reason why I won't be coming to work tomorrow is because I need to go for my medical checkup. And this is the first time I'll be missing work in the last 1 year. That is context that will help the AI now personalize the mail and say, oh, I won't be coming to work tomorrow. This is that's quite different from you just saying, write me a mail that I won't be coming to work tomorrow. It's just going to write it, and it's going to be generic. All right. In the case of letter writing or resume, it's difficult to get AI not to sound generic. Is there a way to get AI to sound like me? Yes, we will get there, Oluchi. Yeah, we will get there. We'll get there when we get there. So we are going to get that. You can train AI in the way that you write. You can train, that is what we call your voice. On Claude, you can create a voice document that AI will always reference whenever it's writing something for you and sound more like you. We will get there and we will set that up too. Raimi saying it's not perfect. Can it be relied on for a fact checking? Yes, you can, but you will need to set up different measures. If you want to rely on AI 100% for fact checking, then you must set another guardrail for it to be able to check whatever it was written versus some sources where you have the facts. So you can do stuff like that. Okay, how do we avoid over-reliance on Gen AI? It is left to you, right? There are certain things that you need to just be disciplined and say you're doing this yourself. And human and AI collaboration is what we emphasize. So there are principles of using AI that I'm still going to talk about. Principle of balance is one of those. So learn to balance when you're using AI and when you don't want to use AI. Principle of human integrity, principle of, all those things are there that we will still kind of discuss in the course of this training. I'll just do one or two more and then we'll do demo. We'll still have enough time for questions and answer, at the end of today's class. So I'll just take 2 or 3 more and then we'll go to the demo. Mina is saying, okay, sir,
please, Eugene has been unmuting and muting. If you do that again, please, we will remove you from the meeting. Please, let's maintain decorum so that we can enjoy this session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Like I said, just type it in the message. That's better for all of us. Just move closer to the system in your center and do it. So as a researcher who have just a background knowledge on the topic, how can I validate the information AI generates in a literature review? You are explaining literature review in itself, right? So literature review as a researcher, this is where you do a lot of researches too. This is where you get sources and check it. And there are AI tools that can help you, connect you to sources about your topic. Consensus AI is there, sci-fi is there. Which time we'll be able to give you enough examples of, those tools that are designed specifically for research, other than just ChatGPT, Claude, and all those things. There are tools specifically for research. You drop your research topics, it gives you lots of journals and sites that have necessary resources that links to whatever you're doing. So just 2 more and I'll move on. How can we ask? Okay, Prof will answer that later. Bauchi, for academic purposes, I'm presently working on my final year project. After giving AI reference to use, still I'm getting output outside my project topic. How should you fix that? It's still through your prompting and then a lot of guide. And research writing is part of what we're going to do, okay? It's part of what we're going to do in one of the weeks. So it's part of what we're going to do in one of the weeks. And final one before I move on, as a developer, how do I use AI in a more disciplined way, an effective way, without relying too much on it, e.g. vibe coding. Vibe coding, you are writing codes with AI. Again, discipline. it's yourself too, discipline. What can you use with AI, and what are those things that you just want to do yourself? And again, there is nothing wrong with using AI, but it's supposed to be a kind of collaboration. You are also adding your own thing. So you are using AI to do more. You're not just dropping AI, dropping your own thinking, and then you're focusing and relying solely on AI. Let me tell you something. My son, while he was leaving primary school as the senior boy or head boy or whatever, he was supposed to write his valedictory speech. And my wife just say, have you seen what your son wrote? He let him share with you his valedictory speech. And the boy brought the book. He used ChatGPT to write it. And that one was just writing. That was just saying a whole lot of things. Then I had to sit him down. I say, you know what? Yes, you want to use ChatGPT. You've been taught to how to use AI, but you need to use it responsibly. I said, you start by doing what? Write everything you want to write. Any nice moment in your school, your favorite teacher, your best friend, anything that must have happened while you were in the school, write all those things down yourself. Write what you want to write. Then you can now feed it into AI and just tell it to help you structure it better as a valedictory speech. It's still going to be his content, but it's now leveraging AI to just help it structure it in a better way, other than him just writing, in bits and bits. And we was able to rewrite it and get something out of it. So you have to sit yourself down and say, what am I doing myself? What is AI doing? Treat it as your personal assistant. You don't want to give your personal assistant some jobs to do, right? For example, you don't want to give your personal assistant your ATM card and your PIN to go and withdraw. I know some of us can do that, but I'm just citing there are certain things that you will not do. You will not send your virtual assistant to the embassy to get your visa for you, right? You want to go there yourself and do certain things. So it depends on you. So I'll come back to these questions later. I will just keep dropping them there. I'll come back to them later. So let me just stop sharing the slides and then go to my, where are you? Go to ChatGPT and then let's try and see a few things and we can move on from there. Let me, where are you? Chrome, nice to Chrome. Okay. All right. Okay. So, isn't this one that I'm sharing? Okay, not this one. It's 1 minute. Okay, I think this is what I'm sharing now. I want to take this screen so I can see. I can still see your chat. Okay, right. So I am right here in my browser. So you want to use ChatGPT, where I'm mentioning ChatGPT because that's like if not the most commonly mentioned one. How do you get access to ChatGPT? You can use it on a browser on your phone or a browser on your computer system. Okay, so how do you do that? You go to chats.com. So if you just type chats, CHAT.com, or you type ChatGPT, .com, it's the same. So if you type chats.com or you type ChatGPT.com, it will take you to the same place. So I'm putting it in the chat. Chats.com or ChatGPT.com. It's going to take you to the same place. And again, you can go to your mobile and download it. All right. So if you're using an iPhone, you can go to the App Store and download it. If you're using an Android, you can go to the Play Store and download it. So you can download it on your mobile so that you can have it there and you use it anytime you want to use ChatGPT. Or the same thing with Claude, the same thing with Gemini. either use them on the browser, use them on your phone, and they also have the computer applications too. So meaning you can download the application and install it on your computer system. So I also have ChatGPT installed on my computer. I think I should just share my complete screen. Let me share my complete screen in case I want to. Yeah, let me share my complete screen. All right. So I can also say I want to use ChatGPT on my system. You know, I have it installed here. So I have it installed as an application. You can also install Claude as an application, install Cherry, you know, you can have all those things. So let me run you through the interface here. This is ChatGPT, and the interface looks, you know, very the same from one tool to another tool, just minor differences. So this is ChatGPT, right? You can sign up for free. So if you sign up for free, you'll be able to use, you know, ChatGPT to an extent. When you use it for a certain number of times, it can tell you to pause and come back, you know, after a while. You know, that's just the limit to the free version. So on my screen here, I have my left pane here. This left pane is where I have some of the features of ChatGPT. If you are on your mobile, if you have installed it on your mobile, you will see like two lines on the upper left corner of your mobile. On the upper left corner, you can tap the two lines, then it will open the left pane on your mobile. And what are those things that you have there? You have new chats. New chat is like you opening a new note, a new page on your book. Okay, so I can click on new chat, it will open something like this for me. I can be working here, I can open another chat and be doing something there. So it's like you opening different, you know, pages on your book. There is library there. So library is where you have all the things that you've generated before. Your images, your documents, you see all those under library. You may not see schedule on your own because I'm using the paid version. So schedule means I can schedule certain tasks on ChatGPT. I can say every morning by 6 a.m., send me a quote, a motivational quote that I want to be posting on my WhatsApp, or a business quote that I want to be posting somewhere. You can schedule it so that ChatGPT on its own, whether you are sleeping, you are not on the system, it will still generate it for you. Then you've got what we call plugins. ChatGPT has what we call plugins. These are applications that you can plug into your ChatGPT to do certain things. And all these applications include your Canva, your Bookings, Upwork, Google Calendar, Figma, you know, all these other applications. We will come back to them later on. So meaning I can be inside ChatGPT, then I use Figma inside ChatGPT. I can be inside ChatGPT and use GitHub. I can be inside ChatGPT and connect it to Spotify or connect it to Bookings and let it look for, you know, hotel accommodations for me in the US, or look for cheap costs of products for me in the US. You know, every year now I kind of attend Microsoft summits at Microsoft HQ in Seattle. So I always use Booking to look for accommodation very close. So right inside ChatGPT, I can just say, you know, I'm traveling to the US, you know, between this and this and this. I need a single room that is no more than, you know, $100 a night. And I want it to be very close to Redmond, where Microsoft headquarters is. And at the same time, I want the location to be close to town too. I don't want to stay somewhere boring. I can connect it to Bookings and type all those things. What I will do will be, instead of it trying to use its trained data, I am plugging it directly to Bookings website. And you know, on Bookings website, you have different hotels listed there with the actual cost, with the available rooms. So ChatGPT is not guessing now. It's going to plug to all your applications and begin to fetch the actual data from there. But I will now be talking to it with my prompts. Okay, I've done something, I could be on ChatGPT and I go to pin it to Spotify and say, you know what, create a playlist for me on this artist. I want 5 songs from this artist, or I want this genre of music right inside ChatGPT. So that's plugging. If I click on more here, you still have images, meaning you want to create images from ChatGPT, and you have what you call GPTs. GPTs are like, I will call it mini ChatGPTs, but this time around, they are mini ChatGPTs focusing on different things. So you have GPTs. If I click on GPTs now, it's going to show me a whole lot of GPTs. If you're on the free plan, maybe you won't be able to see this. So I have different GPTs here. This is from video AI, meaning this can actually do this one thing and do this one thing very well. If I go to research and analysis, I will see different GPTs specifically designed for analysis and for research. So you can see all these things under GPT. You can see different GPTs for different purposes. All right, that's under more here. If you continue to scroll down, you have what you call projects. So you have projects in ChatGPT. Projects, I will use a folder as an example. You know, on your computer system or your mobile phone, you can create a folder. So what do you do inside a folder? You keep relevant documents inside a folder, right? You look at, oh, all these files are office work. Let me put it inside a folder. All these files are my business documents. You put it inside a folder on your computer. So on ChatGPT, you can create what we call projects. We're not doing all this today. I am just showing you the interface. That's all we're doing now, just interface, and we just write, 1 or 2 prompts, and then we'll take question and I'll give you assignments, for today. All right. So projects, you can create a project in ChatGPT and then put relevant documents there, and all your chats about that project will stay inside that project. It's not going to be diluted with all your chat histories here. You will be able to say, this project, everything I am saying about this project, all my prompts about this project should stay inside this project. Here, I have a lot of projects that I've created here for different things. So that is project. And at the bottom, you have your chat history. So all the chats that you must have done before, you can see them listed here. And if you need to go to a particular one, you can come to the search here, click on the search and type something you remember about that particular chat. And it will take you to where that chat history is. So these are your history, your chat history. If there is any of the chat history that you feel you use often, you always go back to that chat history to probably ask it more questions. You can pin it, see pin here. If you pin it, it means no matter what, it should stay at the top. So when you're looking for it, it's always there. You won't need to scroll down and down and down and keep looking for it. You just pin it there, it stays there. When you come back tomorrow, you still see it there. And you can also do it from these 3 dots. You can share your chats. Maybe you're prompting something and you need somebody's input also. You can share and send to that person. You can rename your chats because ChatGPT will pick the chat's name from whatever you must have said. But if you want to be more specific about it, you can rename it. And you can move it to any project that you've created or a new project. And you can as well delete any chat that you have done before. So I'll go back up and just go back to new chats. New chat. We're just looking at the interface. On the bigger pane here, This is where you actually write your instructions when you want to use ChatGPT. You type whatever you want to do inside this text box. And you have a plus sign to the left. If you click on the plus sign, it's going to open a drop-down menu where you can see other features. You want to attach a document from your computer. You know, there is a document you've drafted. You want to share it with ChatGPT. Maybe you want it to assess it, or you want it to summarize it, or you want it to help you to kind of make sense of it. Take, for example, if there are laws in Nigeria that concerns you, maybe the new tax law, you want to know how it affects you as a business owner. You can upload it here, attach it, and just tell ChatGPT, this is what I do. What and what should I be concerned about in this new law? Or somebody has sent an MOU to you and you're not a lawyer, and before you sign, you want to be sure of what you're signing. So you can upload it here and just tell ChatGPT, as a lawyer, I need your advice. Help me look at this, the clauses here. What are the other things that I should be mindful of? I am this, I am that in the MOU, so that it knows where you belong. If you are the client or if you are the customer, you want it to, you know, specify it there, and you can attach. You can attach it there. Then you have create image, meaning create the image here. You can click on create image and create image. If you can, you want it to search the web, you want it to help you search search the web, you can click search the web to do search the web, and some other things. You know, you want it to help you do that. You want to do deep research. Deep research is getting a detailed report. For anybody that is doing research work, when you're using ChatGPT, it's better you use deep research. From what you have in front, it says get a detailed report. Deep research, from the name, is deep research. It's going to take more time, but it's going to consult different sources before giving you the output. So, and these are other applications that I personally have added. So that's what you see when you click on the plus sign, right? On the far right here, you have these two icons. Forget about this one. This one is about my own. I added this. Let me just remove this. Okay, so you've got these two here, microphone and then the start voice. The microphone here means I don't want to type. Yes, I have my prompt that I want to write, but I'm not very fast at typing. You know, can I just use my microphone and let it just capture whatever I want to say? You know, for example, let me just say, oh, I need you to help me write a proposal, you know, for a business I am thinking. I want to start selling sneakers, and my sneakers will have a direct design on it. I want to send this proposal to the US department, the public affairs department. This is about a grant. So I just need like a draft of what should be in my proposal. Then I stop that. It's going to transcribe everything here. It's going to transcribe it. Then I can send my prompts into the chat. For somebody like me that don't like typing long things, I love using the microphone. And you can rant a lot if you're using the microphone. You can say so much. Just continue to talk and talk and talk and talk. And when you're done, you hit the send button. That is the microphone. The other one means you want to be having conversation back and forth with AI. You want it to say it to you. That is the voice mode. I want to chat with AI and say, oh, this is something that I want you from you, that it responds back to me. That is the start voice. You want to be talking to ChatGPT. You say something, it listens, it responds to you via audio. That is the voice, the start voice here. So these are the things that we have here. Above here, on the upper right corner here, you can turn on temporary chats. By default, temporary chats will be off. But when you turn temporary chat on, what that means is whatever you do at that particular point in time, once you close ChatGPT, it should not add it to the history. You don't want it in your history. You just want to, do it on the go, something that you don't want on your history. I don't want to use the example that is popping in my head now of the situation whereby you can use it, but you know it yourself too. At times you want it to help you write something for, and you don't want it in your history. So you can just turn on the temporary chat, and whatever you do there, once you close it, it's no longer on your chat history. That is the temporary chat, right? So this is what we have here. And finally here, you have the ChatGPT, and this is where you probably see some of the models here. If you see the models that are available that you can use there. This is the ChatGPT interface. The important part that I said before you start using it, you need to be able to set it up so that it can work for you. Is the ChatGPT setting. ChatGPT settings. So let's go to the settings. If you look at your name, where you have your name, either on your mobile phone or on your laptop. So if you click on your name, you will see these options there. You will see personalization. You will see personalization. If you're on your phone, if you're on Android, or you are on, let me see, if you're on iPhone now, you will see the setting icon. You will see that usual setting icon. If you tap it, then you'll be able to see personalization, memory plugin, and so on. Then you can click on personalization. So if you choose personalization, this is where you can actually set it up and say, I don't want to be using ChatGPT the way they are, the way ChatGPT is, the way others use ChatGPT. I want ChatGPT to know me inside out. I want ChatGPT to know how I write, what I want it to be doing. I want it. So you come to personalization here. You are seeing the base style and tone. I bet it that nearly 90% of us, we have it on default, because we've not actually gone there to check. So you have it on default, which is the preset style and tone, but you still have other options here. If you look at my own screen, I have set up mine to be professional. So I want polished and precise outputs always. That's why I changed mine to professional. If you want it friendly, so that it will just be, supporting whatever you say and chatty. If you are using it as a personal physiotherapist, you can use friendly. You want candid, direct, you want efficient, you want playful, you want cynical, sarcastic. I don't know who would want that. You want sarcastic, you want to change the personality of your ChatGPT. So you can do that in the base style and tone. Then you also have characteristics here, right? Characteristics, you've got warm, enthusiastic, header and list and emoji. When you click on the arrow in front of each, you can choose from less to default to more. It's going to be on default, right, at the moment. But if you want less of that thing, you choose less. If you want more of that thing, you choose more. Look at my header and list. I said I want more, because I want my output to be well structured most of the time. I want it to be well structured with headers and lists. Okay, so that's why I chose more. Emoji, I chose less, because I don't want emojis in my responses. I don't want it to put emojis, a lot of emojis there, so I changed that to less. So you can do that. When you scroll down, you will see the most important personalization part there. And that is what? Custom instructions. If you have anything at all, just tell me in the chat, yes or no. If you have something in your custom instructions, put yes there. If there is nothing there, say no. custom instruction, I bet that many of us, we don't have anything there. So we're just kind of using ChatGPT the way it is. Okay, Robert has something there. That's cool. So we're saying no, yes. Buhari has something. That's fine. Lawal, yes. Okay, it's good. Some of us, we got some things there. Some of us, we don't have anything there. Don't worry. I'll tell you what to do to get something there. That will be number 2 assignment for you. Okay, number 2 assignment plus the one I've planned in mind for you. So custom instruction is where you want to tell ChatGPT how you want it to be responding to you. You want to give it enough context, enough info about you. This is what I have in mind. It's very long. I said, you are an expert, creative writer, and technical professional. Your mission is to produce well-researched, concise responses for an advanced users who expect high-level intelligence and clarity. Then I put objectives, I put all those things there. So custom instruction, you are now configuring ChatGPT and say, this is how I want you to be operating. If you don't have anything there, or you just have a line there, don't worry, I will tell you what to do to get something really solid there that can help improve your responses. Your nickname, you can put your nickname there. You know, I just put Ola there. Then your occupation too is there. Everything you do, you can put it there inside your occupation. Is there too on your mobile, Robert? Is there on your mobile? You can still do personalization on your mobile, right? Then you have more about you too. If there are still other things that you want to give ChatGPT. For example, there are many words that I told ChatGPT to always kind of reduce, not have them most of the time. So this is where you do personalization, and we will talk about personal. I'll give you what to do. We're not going too far today. So we are done exploring ChatGPT interface. So we can now go back to our prompt, right? And try and see the examples of prompts that I gave us earlier on. Let me bring you here. So let's just try the prompt, and I want you also to just try something on your own, and then you will again now improve on that prompt and use the 5 parts prompt formula to change it and do something. All right, so this is what I will do. I will write something here, then I want you to now use 5 parts formula to improve on that prompt and then share it in the chat. So I want to say, I want to start a business in Nigeria. Okay, I have 20,000 naira. Okay, give me a business proposal. Okay, or I would say, write me a business plan to start a business with 20,000 naira. All right, so this is what I've written. Let me make it very bold for you to see on the screen. So I'm giving you a classwork now before I write it again and give you the answer too. So I put something on the screen. I said, write me a business plan to start a business with 20,000 naira. As simple as that. As simple as that. That's what I put there. So I want you to now use the 5 prompts formula. I hope we still remember the 5 prompt formula. Let me just bring it somewhere here. Let me bring it somewhere here. In case you have forgotten the 5 prompt formula, I'll just bring it here. So I need you to now use it to rewrite the prompt that I've shared here before I show you my own, before I write mine. So come here. This is the 5 parts. So all of us, we are doing the same thing, right? We are all doing the same thing. I need you to rewrite these prompts that I put here using the 5 parts prompt formula. So we have just 3 minutes to do that, just 3 minutes. No, let me make it 5 minutes. Let me make it 5 minutes. So this is 3:05. By 3:10, I will ask you to, I will just move on. So you've got 5 minutes, and the task is this: rewrite what I have on my screen now, rewrite it using the 5 parts from prompt formula. Rewrite it and drop it in the chat once you're done. Rewrite it and drop it in the chat. Don't drop it yet. Let others write their own. So once 5 minutes lapses, I will ask you to drop it. Don't drop it yet. Just write it on your own. Under personalization, do you feed it with your real data? When we are talking about real data, when you are talking about real data, sorry, Charles, it is on the screen. It's on the screen. I have it on the screen. So if you are talking about your real data, we are talking about your personal identification, right? Maybe your full name, your date of birth, your NIN, your passport number, all those things should not be there. If you notice I just put Ola there, but I explain what I do. Okay, I'm a data analyst, I'm a trainer, I run a business. This is what we do in our business. There's nothing wrong with all those ones. But if the moment you start throwing your PII, your very, very important information, that's where you're crossing the line. So put whatever nickname you want there, put what you do there, but you don't need to specifically put your PII in there. Because I hope I understand that. So we have 4 more minutes. Write your prompts. Then after 4 minutes, I'll ask you to drop it in the chat. I don't want you to drop it down. I don't want somebody to now copy that. So Robert, yes, you can do the same on your mobile. And whatever you do on your mobile in terms of personalization will remain there, even when you check it on your computer. If you check it on your browser, it remains there. So we have 3 more minutes for us to kind of check it out.
Please hold battery is full.
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. The person requesting for the formula, it's here on my screen, and maybe I can put it here. Can I drop it here? Okay, don't worry. You've got role, task, context, format, constraints. So yeah. 2 more minutes and we can move on. 2 more minutes. Okay, so time up. So you can start dropping your prompts in the chat now. So drop it in the chat. You just drop it in the chat. Let's see what you've written. You can start dropping it in the chat. I can see Mawan Ali Abba. You said you want to use shortcuts. You are telling it to maintain the 5 formula. Okay, so you didn't put the formula, the whole thing yourself. So you need to have those things yourself. Tell AI to help you have it. Olumide as an experienced Nigerian business strategist, entrepreneur, and financial planner with over 20 years, helping startup build profitable businesses from starts. Wow, I'm loving this. From small capital, create a comprehensive act as an okay. Create a comprehensive. I think you missed one line there. A comprehensive plan, a business plan, a realistic, actionable, okay, with 20,000, which is fine. So a lot of role, I could see a lot of role there. I'm saying context, but the context is still not loaded in terms of you are not telling it the direction you're kind of looking at. For you to start a business, so you want to mention the skills you have. You want to mention whatever you have at the moment. Okay. As I'm saying, with this, I wrote a long prompt, which is good. Roberts, okay, great. But I can tell how you got that prompt. Which is there's nothing wrong in it anyway. So you can as well use AI to write prompts. AI can help you write prompts, and that's what we call meta prompting. So Oluchi is saying, act as an entrepreneur with 20 years of experience. I want to start a business with 20K. I am based in Asket of Oracle. I have no prior business knowledge, but I can run errands. Write me a business plan focusing on thriving. What's thriving in Port Harcourt? Identify and recommend the 10 most profitable. Rank them. I like that. Rank them. Explain why each business is a good option. That's fine. So yeah, I'm happy with what I'm reading in the charts. You know, you can just drop it in the chat. You don't need to use the raise hand button. You don't need to use the raise hand button. So that's good. Ogun Tech Hub. Yeah, of course, I'll read from Ogun Tech Hub. Where's Ogun Tech Hub again? Yeah, Ogun Tech Hub. Pretend as an experienced business experts in Abeokuta, help me draft a business plan for my new graphics designer skill. Yeah. Where is it again? Skill. And I'm targeting a lot of business currently in Nigeria, and I have no capital. Present the plan as a day-by-day bullet. Use all social media platform, maximum of 20 words. So everything that you have written, I would say you've all tried and you've done a very good job. John, please just drop it in the chats. I don't want us to use the mic yet. When we are done with today's class, maybe we can use the microphone. So John, you can drop whatever you want to say in the chats, then I can pick it up from there. So Jennifer, I'm a fresh university graduate who wants to start a business. That's the context with 20K. You want to pitch to an investor, you have interest in food business, but you don't have any prior experience with running catering business. Present this as a proposal for pitching. I like the context in there. Jennifer, I like the context. Where is it again? Yeah, I like the context. Maybe the only thing I will just tweak there will be the role. You didn't have enough role there for ChatGPT to know that, yes, it's supposed to write it as an expert coach that has been supporting, people in Nigeria, and you've written award-winning proposals that have scaled, So all in all that I'm seeing in the charts, we've done well. We've done well, really. We've done well. And I will just pick one of your charts for us to see what we're doing. You've done well, so you can clap. So let me just send this short one. I'm just sending this one generic. Although, because of the way I have prepared my ChatGPT, it's still going to give me something, still okay to an extent, but it's still going to be largely generic. See what it has kind of written here. Let me All right. So he's saying, you know what, 20,000. He's suggesting the name for me, Fast Print and AI Digital Services. You know why? Because he knows what I do. He knows what I do. That's why it is, you know, suggesting AI digital services for me because of my custom instructions and all that. Business model, offer digital services using smartphone. Why this business? Very low startup cost. And these are the things that I'll be doing. CV writing for people, letter writing, business proposal, birthday, blah, blah, blah. Average cost that I'll be collecting from people. He put all those things there. Market analysis, my target customers. You can see that my own is still very loaded because of the way I have prepared my ChatGPT. But it's still largely, you know, kind of generic, not 100% generic because it's kind of tilting it towards what I have fed it with what I do every now and then. And that's one thing about AI. So I do tell organizations, especially when I'm kind of facilitating organizations, what I do for them is quite different from individuals. Because for organization, the goal is to build an intelligent organization. And this is not just for individuals to be using AI, it's to compound the use of AI of all the workers in that company so that the AI will help improve the organization over time. The intelligence is compounded, everybody is using it, you're sharing the best practices and all those things. That is what has worked for me here because of what I've been doing over time. So let me just pick somebody's plan here. I think I'll pick that of Jennifer. Yeah, I'll pick that of Jennifer here. Yeah, so I'll pick that of Jennifer. And then I want to do new charts because I don't want to dilute it with what I'm doing already. And then send. So it's supposed to kind of give me something in line with what she said, as interesting food. Want to start with 20, want to pitch to investor. You can run catering businesses and look at it. He's writing it, and he gave it a name. The Lunch Basket, a fast-growing homemade meal and food delivery business for busy workers and students. You know, prepared by, of course, your name. Executive summary. You see that this is quite different from mine because of the way everything has been, you know, structured. You mentioned specifically that this is for you want to pitch to an investor. So this is there, and he's writing it starting with executive summary, and then the problem, the solution, the business model, why this business will succeed, the market opportunity, the products, the marketing strategy. You can see that this is quite different from the first one because this is for investor. She mentioned that she's pitching to an investor and she added why invest. This is more than a food business. It is a scalable consumer built, you know, all those things. And ChatGPT did not stop there. It also added the investor pitch speech. How you will start your pitch. Oh, I graduated from the university with 20K and I want to build something meaningful. I chose food business. No matter what happens in the economy, people eat every day. You see, he helped with a full load of info that you can now, you know, copy this and drop it inside Microsoft Word, or you download this and then use, fine-tune it, look through it, and, you know, correct somebody's microphone is stopping also. You can look at all this and then verify, be sure that it's still saying all the things that it should say before you send it out. Because AI is putting daily average selling price. Is that your own average selling price? If it is not, it is your job to correct it. And don't just send it to your investors without going through. So you are saying you are targeting 25 meals per day at 3,000 naira. I don't know if 3,000 is still enough to, you know, to sell quality food, including the packs and every other thing. So you might want to check that. And then it's putting daily revenue, monthly revenue, estimated net profits, you know, an estimated annual revenue. You have all this there. And it has also done 3-year growth in projection. Year 1, year 2, year 3. You see that this is more like a business proposal to really help you to give this to an investor. You see the difference? I just put a prompt without anything, and now we have something that is what Jennifer wrote, very loaded, captured the 5 prompt formula, and then we've got something that is good enough. So this is just an introduction to what AI can actually do for us. So before I take more questions, remember I said I want to give us homework, and the 2 homework that I want to give you are, then I'll take questions. So you've got homework, you've got to do something. Yeah, so this is the homework that I need you to do, right? So this is the homework that I want you to do. Choose one. I'm not saying everything, right? It's not everything on my screen that you must do. So pick one. Your mission before next Tuesday. Use AI to write your CV or your personal profile for your LinkedIn or whatever. Or you want to choose your AI to create a monthly budget, or you want to draft social media content for your business, or you want to research your competitor or your sector, or you want to write a proposal or pitch document. So just pick one, pick one. One is fine. Just pick one and do that before next week, Tuesday. I hope you understand the assignment. So the assignment again, one of these, just pick one. Just pick one. CV, monthly budget, social media content, research competitor, your proposal. Let me just leave the assignments to one. Let me reduce it to one. Let me reduce it to one. We will do the custom instruction together next class. I want to hold your hands on that. But for your homework, please complete one mission. And if you can complete all the missions, all well and good, we'll clap for you. Complete one mission, come back ready to answer what worked, what surprised you, and what disappointed you. So this is your mission before Tuesday. Pick one, complete one mission, come back, what worked, what surprised you, what disappointed you. Those 3 questions are important to me. Not just your outputs, and it should be important to you as well. What worked, what surprised you, what disappointed you. So that's the homework for us. And next week, we will be doing a deep dive into these tools that we've talked about. We've started with ChatGPT. We'll look more at features in ChatGPT. We'll look more at features in Claude and Gemini, and then we go deeper into those tools and we'll move on from there. So this is where I want to draw the curtain today. We still have 7 minutes to take questions and feedback. Maybe I should bring in Prof before I start taking questions. Say, Itayo, you want to say 1 or 2 things, instructions, so that when I take enough questions, we can go from there.
Thank you very much. Can we put our hands together, everybody? This is a course that many people pay thousands of naira for, and thankfully we have Mr. Olalekan, who delivered the first week seamlessly, and you will agree with me that anyone who has ears must have heard. I gained a lot here, and I know you did exactly the same thing. Let me announce to you again, we are not counting today as part of your 80% attendance, because many of you are just getting to know about this session. So from next week, we encourage you to please come on time. If you are 30 minutes late, that day will not be counted for you. So please come on time. Now, for those who are joining online, we said you are free to join online. If you would like to have a link to that, ask the director, but that will not count towards your getting certificate of participation. If you want to get the certificate, all you need to do is you come in person. And that's what we have been doing since we started this series of training. Finally, we're having some other programming. I will encourage you to join our WhatsApp group and other social media platforms for you to be updated. On Friday, we're having a special stories that connect us. It's a wonderful book discussion program. I will be handled by one of the producers uh, in the channel's television. So please join us. Over to you, Mr. Olalekan Adeeko.
All right. Okay. So if you have more questions, we have 5 minutes. You can drop it in the chat. Charles and the other person raising hands, you can drop it in the chat so that we use that to save time. You know, just drop your questions in the chat. Somebody said, how can we make, what's that? How can we make direct video call with AI? Don't worry, we'll be able to demonstrate that. You can show AI on your phone. If I bring out my phone now and I launch ChatGPT, for example, let's say on my phone, I launch ChatGPT, then where I have the voice, remember the voice icon. If I tap the voice icon, it will show me one circle rolling, that I can pick the plus sign and then tap camera. When I tap camera, I am showing ChatGPT my camera capture. Then I can ask ChatGPT questions about what it is saying. You know, maybe there was a time I was kind of doing something in my car and I noticed my wire always use, you know, spanner to hit something. You know, if your battery or something, your kick is having issues, the wire, they have a place where they will just tell you to take stone or spanner and then knock its head or something. So I forgot. So I kind of turn on my camera, then I say, oh, ChatGPT, I am trying to do this. Just look at it. When I point to it and it's the right place, just tell me. And it will tell you, you know, or you open your fridge. I've done that before. You open your fridge and you say, oh, look at my fridge. These are the things that I have here. I'm going out in the next 30 minutes. Tell me what I can fix. You know, what I can actually eat with all the ingredients here. So you can turn on your camera and let's see. Gemini 2 has the same thing. You can, you know, show your screen. You're working on an Excel file. You don't know what next to do. Share that your screen with AI. AI sees your Excel screen and be able to tell you, oh, this is the formula that you should put here. So you can do that. What other question do I have here? WhatsApp link. No, that. Slides. Yeah, I can share day-to-day slides with Prof, and then maybe you will have a way of getting it across to you. I can do that. Any other question? Yes, the recording, I think you will get info around that too. Olumide says, if I was a reviewer for Jennifer's proposal and I asked ChatGPT that, did you write this proposal? You know what? Who needs to know whether you use AI to write a proposal or not? The contents Jennifer has gotten was directly for her. It's for her food, it's for the business proposal, is for the 3 months or 3-year projection and all that. So it's not about, oh, did she use AI to write it? It's about, oh, is she convincing enough? Can I drop my money to support whatever she must have done? Yes, there are AI tools that one can use to check if one has used AI to write this, but that is fading away. I'm telling you, except for academic researches, when we expect that you do a form of research. But you are writing for your social media platform. Who cares whether you use AI? You're writing something, your plan, but you have injected all your own information there. Nobody cares whether it's AI. Nobody should be penalized for using AI, you know, to do all these things, except, you know, in exam, you're trying to circumvent the law and all those things. So it does not matter whether she used AI to write the proposal or not. So one thing you people don't know is even the AI tools that assess whether somebody has used AI is not 100% accurate. You can as well say somebody has used AI when in actual fact the person did not use AI. You know, so don't worry yourself about, oh, it's AI, oh, it's in academic world. Yes, there are rules guiding the use of AI that we need to be mindful of. So the final question here is Okay. There's a question at the top. I think I've answered that me now. If you can help me reshare because of a lot of questions, I can just take one more question because it's already 3:30, and don't worry, we're together for 9 weeks, for 8 more weeks, right? Thanks for the but based on personal usage, I think Claude has better output compared. It's preference, so it's about your preference, Lagos. I use Claude like if I'm going to put percentage there, Claude versus other tools, I use Claude 90%, if not more. I use Claude more. We are going to use Claude too, right? I talked about the 3 tools, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. It depends on you. Some people have preference for ChatGPT. Me, I prefer Claude, depending on what you do and the kind of outputs you want to be getting from these tools. At times I use ChatGPT for different things, but most of the time I use Claude. So let's learn the prompting. Whether you're using ChatGPT or Claude, you will still be able to get something nice. But when it gets to the few differences, I will of course mention them as we go. So this is where I will kind of end it today. I'll still hand over back to Prof. But yeah, we'll see you again next week. So bye from me. Bye to you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much for today. For those who just joined us, please ask the director that you would like to register for this course. Every person must make sure each day you register, you have to sign. There must be a place, and every director has to supply that to us. So please, let's make sure we do that. Make sure you sign before you